It's been a dream of humankind for thousands of years to evolve wings and fly like a bird or an insect. And we've come close, sort of. With today's technology, we can build machines that allow us to fly, but we are still far from being able to grow wings on our own. So the question is, could humans ever evolve wings? And if so, what would it take? Now, there are lots of reasons why this is the case. But let's start with one of the most obvious. Feathers aren't bones. Of course, birds do have skeletons, and some of their bones are hollow, which makes them lighter for flying. There's another major obstacle standing between us and our dream of flight, and that's gravity. But that doesn't mean that we won't ever be able to fly. Scientists are working on all sorts of new technologies that could allow us to soar through the skies. Maybe one day we'll even be able to fly like we've always dreamed. It's probably not by flapping our arms. Gravity pulls us toward the ground at 9.8 meters per second squared, give or take. That means that every second an object is falling near the surface of the Earth, its speed increases by 9.8 meters per second. So a plane that's flying at 100 meters per second will experience 10 newtons of force, pulling it down. To overcome this force, it would take 10 newtons of lift. But lift isn't generated by flapping wings. It's actually generated by curved upper surfaces on wings that allow air to flow faster over the top than the bottom. Faster air means lower pressure. So lower pressure above, higher pressure below, you get lift. So if you wanted to design a wing for a human, you'd want the air to flow really fast above the wing in order to generate enough lift to get you off the ground. But there's a problem with that, and it's called drag. As the air flows over the wings, friction causes drag. The faster the air moves, the more drag you get. The faster you need to flap your wings to get off the ground, the more you'll experience drag. And the more you experience drag, the more force is required to keep you aloft. So you'll need bigger wings to generate more lift to overcome the increased drag. But then you'll need bigger muscles to flap those bigger wings, which means you'll need a bigger, stronger skeleton to support those bigger muscles. And so the whole thing will just sort of get out of hand pretty quickly. And that's why it's very unlikely that humans will ever evolve wings. But feathers aren't bones, and they don't grow out of bones. Feathers are made of keratin, the same stuff that makes up our hair and our nails. In order for humans to evolve wings, we'd need to first evolve a whole new skeletal structure that could support them, not to mention the additional musculature required to flap them. So even if humans were to somehow grow something like feathers, we'd be very unlikely to evolve the structures needed to attach them to our bodies. Hi, and welcome to Life Noggin. Today we're answering the question, could humans evolve wings? Humans don't exactly have the body plan for flight. See, in order to fly, you need to be able to move your limbs in ways that humans just can't. Birds evolved from dinosaurs, which evolved from other reptiles, which all had scales and no feathers. Their limbs were structured very differently from ours, and their skeletons were much lighter than ours. So the odds of human beings, with our 5-fingered hands and opposable thumbs, evolving into creatures with the ability to fly are essentially zero. Sorry, Charles Darwin. The short answer is no. The slightly longer answer is probably not. But let's just assume that we could get past all of that. But let's just assume that we could overcome all of these evolutionary hurdles. Not to mention the fact that we do exactly have a lot of extra genetic material lying around that we could use for, say, growing wings. If you enjoyed this episode and want to see more like it, click the like button below. Thank you for watching. And thank you for watching.